So class, I know it's been like about a month that we have given a character the spotlight for a singular video, and I already know I gotta start adding more stuff like this on the curriculum. But none of that really matters because we're here now. And today we are going to be going over how LLeNN absolutely just dominated the Gun Gale Online servers. But before we get into that, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're close to 1K. Getting into the first time that we ever see LLeNN, her very first debut into Sword Arts Online, we see her tagging along with her duo, his name is M. So with them spawning into the world, because this is like a whole battle royale style tournament, they started making out a game plan off the jump. Simply because there's only two of them, and one of them is a sniper and the other is a close range fighter. So their best bet is to literally just go around and try to catch people off guard. And catching people off guard they did. While they were moving through the forest, they ended up seeing some people, but M didn't want to engage with them yet. See, my man, he takes everything slow and methodical. He plans things out to the absolute. Called his man the SAO Aizen. Alright, I mean, I'm kind of stretching it. He ain't like Aizen. Ain't nobody can be like Aizen. But my man loves to just pre-plan everything out just so the whole entire battle or fight can end smoothly. So they pretty much just sat back and watched everything unfold right before their eyes. Because as soon as that scan went off, those people that they were just looking at started ripping into the trees. They were just unloading and reloading into the trees to try to get LLeNN, but LLeNN was just holding her ground. She was not moving. But seriously, not being able to do anything inside this situation other than just wait, as fast as everything just escalated is just as fast as everything just ended. Because the people that started shooting at LLeNN started to get third-partied their damn selves, and they couldn't do a thing about it. They ended up just getting squad wiped. And just watching just how smoothly everybody got taken out by the enemy team, they just now realized that they might just have some competition in this game. So with them knowing that they're in a hot zone right now, they have to get moving. So they decided to just move on into like this neighborhood type of area. And while they were moving towards the neighborhood, they started to witness all the other players just completely demolishing each other in many different ways. But they really did not have to worry about any of that because they just went on to the outskirts of that whole entire battle. So when they finally made it inside that house, they decided to plan for that same exact team that took out the earlier team that was shooting at LLeNN. And the strategy that they used was just completely outlandish. Now I'm gonna take the time to pause the video for a little bit because I do not know how the hell in this game you're able to do what I'm about to show you, or how the hell do you even develop or even make this possible inside this game. Because the strategy that they had was to hide underneath their noses by having LLeNN hide inside of a briefcase. Now, the reason why I even brought up my earlier statement is because remember, they got like the nerve gear crap on. So that means that she literally had to crouch down herself and shove herself inside the suitcase just to pop out. Like, you know how uncomfortable that must be? But having the plan work as intended, she ends up popping up and surprising them and ends up just one-clipping all of them. And while proceeding to just one-clip each and every one of them, they can't even hit her because she picked like the smallest character known to man. You see, this is why we all rock female skins in video games. I swear to you, it gives you an advantage. But after just absolutely just team wiping them, like they weren't nothing. They were just absolutely just fodder. But after wiping them out, we ended up seeing like a backstory of how LLeNN got this good. And we also get to see what she looks like IRL. And all I gotta say is, but we're not talking about IRL LLeNN, we're talking about in-game LLeNN. Now, truly speaking, I do not know how the hell most of the shit that she learned while playing this game equates to how she is later in the anime, because most of the shit she learns in the anime, she never did. We never see her do this. Now, realistically, her training was just consisted of just shooting her guns at the firing range to see which one she really likes. And then when she found the one that, she's more consistent with, she just went out into the world and started fighting monsters for XP. And then when she, was doing this for a couple of days, she ended up having enough, in-game currency to get her drip. So after getting her new outfit established, she decided that she wanted to grind up a little bit more. Now, after she got done grinding, she was like, you know, chilling out in the desert, and then she got pulled up on by like 3 NPCs. Now, simply because she was just, you know, fighting monsters for like the whole duration, she didn't know that she would have to, like, you know, shoot people. Clearly, it didn't matter. But after running her same route, she ends up getting caught off guard by a new character named Pito. Now, to just make the long story short, Pito was like, you know, the person that was helping her out throughout the entire game, giving her tips, pretty much being like the in-game mentor. So I have to give her like a much needed training arc officially, instead of like, you know, doing shit on her own. She ends up challenging LLeNN to see if she can win this next up and coming tournament. And then it cuts back to her actually into the tournament. That was like, you know, the first beginning part. We pretty much just got like, you know, the context of why the hell she's doing this. So after pretty much explaining to her exactly how the tournament works, because this will be like her first time doing it, she gives her M as like her duo. So they're going to be literally just duo squatting while more people have like 5 or 4 people per team. So you know they gotta be goated if they're just gonna be duo squatting this entire tournament. So after the aftermath of LLeNN absolutely just wiping that squad off the face of the map, they're trying to like make a whole new game plan because the circle is closing. And while they were rotating into the zone, they ended up having to stop completely in their tracks because people are in boats, and if they keep on moving, they're gonna get spotted. But completely, that just did not matter because the scan for the world ended up happening, so they ended up getting spotted regardless. But tragically enough, LLeNN cannot, like, you know, fight them at that range with her P90. But luckily, my man is a goated sniper. My man had the one shot on the guy driving and took one shot and one tapped him. He was not stopping there because he ends up just taking out everybody on the boat. And then the one boat decided to try to get in close, and he threw a grenade in the water and just blew it up, and then LLeNN finished them off. After just now finishing them off, they realized that they are in like a 1v1 situation with a whole other squad. And that squad has been watching them for so long because they started taking pot shots at them. So with practically escaping with 1 HP to their name, they ended up taking that boat and going on the opposite side of the zone. Taking time to like get themselves together, they started looking over how much equipment they have and seeing if they would be able to finish off this tournament with the dub. Just for this absolute cornball trying to freaking team kill LLeNN so he can get the W himself. Just for LLeNN to just get the upper hand on this man, and this man started to bawl crying. Just for this man to be like, oh no, you can't kill me, because if you kill me, Pito will kill me IRL, blah 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 blah. Man, that's not like a you problem, to be honest. But LLeNN pretty much practically ends up sparing him just so they can get this tournament win. And that's exactly what the hell she set out to do, because she was just trying to just solo squad. She said, fuck my duo, he was trying to freaking betray me, I can get this win by myself. So then she ends up just bum rushing this one person, ends up catching her off guard, ends up getting that kill, but then she was also getting tagged up, so she's low HP. She ends up getting behind the rock. While she was healing up, she was cooking up a grenade just to throw at the 2 people because she was getting flanked from both sides. She ends up missing the grenade, but my man M came in clutch and hit the grenade with the sniper. In the immense of the explosion, LLeNN ends up getting knocked back and losing her P90. When she wants to go grab it, she takes the next 1v1 with this big hulking person. But then she ends up getting seismic kicked into the wall and taking massive damage. This is GG's for LLeNN. It's what I would have said if she would have like hit her anywhere else on the body to get that kill. I do not know why she was just aiming for that certain spot. That made no sense. Having them back on equal footing, the last person had another teammate up and they were about to finish both of them off. But M came in clutch again and ended up taking her out. She threw her teammate the pistol and she grabbed it and ended up unloading onto LLeNN, and LLeNN blocks it with the P90. But losing her weapon, she is not out of options because she pulls out the knife and uses her speed to her advantage and ends up just speed blitzing her, landing several cuts right before she lands the final blow. So with LLeNN winning her 1v1 and M also winning the sniper duel against their sniper with this sick ass shot, by the way, this is cool, they end up winning the whole entire tournament. So with winning the tournament and celebrating, she truly does not know what's in stake for her in the future. So starting where the last episode ended, we pretty much get to see everybody who participated in that tournament in their real life form. To be honest, we already seen LLeNN in her real life form, And so now we get to see like pretty much everybody that she fought towards the end of that tournament, and pretty much all of them are just little kids. So everybody who lost to them lost to little kids. Couldn't be me though. And practically like just throughout the whole entire episode, we get to meet a brand new character, which is LLeNN's best friend, and she's going to play a big part in the next up and coming tournament, because these two are pretty much just going to be duos. LLeNN did not want to have a same recreation of what happened last time where M wanted to try to betray her because Pito threatened his life. Man, I don't give a damn, bro. Like, betraying your duo just like that out of the blue because somebody threatened your life, bro, man, that's a L-mans. I would have replaced them too. So after just, you know, talking to everybody, we end off on M, and M is pretty much telling her that there is going to be a next squad jam, and Pito is going to be participating in that squad jam, so she has to go on her training arc. Bro, this man is talking about Pito like how people talk about King Von. Who would have really thought that all this yip yap would have actually been foreshadowing exactly what the hell she was doing? Because she just might be the King Von of this verse. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We're gonna get into that when we can get into that. After a couple of days of just going over, like, you know, the game plan and stuff, they finally get to log into the game. And did I forget to mention that her friend is just now making a character? She does not know how to play the game. And just like anybody who truly just hops on the game and doesn't know how to aim yet, they go to literally the most brain dead kit known to man. And she just gravitates towards the grenade launcher. Now, you may think like, oh, one grenade launcher is bad. No. She has two of these bitches. Two! So with getting her OG Modern Warfare noob tube loadout, they are finally ready to start the training arc. And this is what I'm saying, how these grenade launchers are just going to be putting in maximum amount of work for little to no effort. Because when they started fighting these monsters, she sat back of the map and just started unloading these shit until she ran out of ammo. These armadillo monsters didn't even know what the hell was going on until shit just started dropping. So a couple days has passed and it's now the tournament day. And we see that pretty much everybody who participated in the last one who got their ass beat is also in this one. So we can automatically just assume what the hell is gonna happen to everybody, right? Wow. They actually learned their lessons? Oh shit. We a long way from bot lobbies. So after Fuka getting her legs absolutely blown off by that trap, now LLeNN has to just 1v5 the entire squad. But man, come on. If you guys see my last video, it's not like she's been here before.
I'm the champion of SJ, remember? I can handle these guys.
Because as soon as they started to get close, she jumps out the door and absolutely just rolls the first guy. And absolutely just speed blitzes the next guy. This guy does not know what the hell he's going on. He's lost his shit. Look at him. You already know she's using the same exact tactics that she used in the first tournament. Use their dead body as a shield and then just light them up. They can't do nothing about this. Like, this is broken. Like, truly speaking, looking at like the whole balancing of this game, it's so unbalanced. Everybody should just be rocking the freaking small builds on the characters, because you're hard to hit, you can move fast as hell, and you can also hide behind dead bodies. Like, why would people be using the bigger builds? It kind of doesn't comprehend if you're trying to win a tournament. But getting back into the action, we already know that she has to reload at this point, and she busts out the same exact knife that she used to win the last tournament. She is evolving, she's adapting, she's learning a bit too quick. Nah, better yet, she is just locked in right now. Now in a 1v1 situation, LLeNN is in a bad position right now because this next guy has a shotgun, and that spread is actually pretty big. But then Fuka comes out of nowhere and just hits this man directly with the noob tube.
You know me, I'm the kind of girl who loves payback.
Yo, bro, she is actually playing Call of Duty. She's not on GGO right now. After they got done with that entire battle, we cut to seeing all the other teams in their own designated battles getting their kill count up, except for Pito. Pito is somewhere on the opposite side of the map pretty much just waiting. And it's not even like she wants to wait. M is the leader, so M was pretty much just saying that they want to just wait here just so she does not get picked off, so then she can get the 1v1 with LLeNN and take her elo. So after just witnessing all the other teams and seeing what their game plans are, we witnessed this bullshit.
What was that?
Sounded like someone farted.
Boy, y'all got the reaction times of a lobotomized brick. Y'all have the map awareness of Helen Keller, because y'all had 2 to 3 business days to leave out of that area when the first bomb dropped. But y'all still stayed there and had the time to line y'all up like a $20 tape. Like, bro, y'all are garbage. Alright, y'all deserve to die. So absolutely just dropping the mother load of just grenades and just wiping out that entire squad. The next scan goes off, and here's where everything starts to get real. Because LLeNN realized that everybody is pulling up on Pito, because yeah, LLeNN may be a threat on the battlefield, but she is not Pito. Because as soon as these teams pulled up, they started to unload inside the waterfall, not knowing that M is in there with a shield. And she set up this diabolical plan to ambush everybody. But I wanted you to realize something, okay? All this time, you see everybody holding their gun. But when you look at Pito, there is not a piece on her. She started this entire tournament unarmed. And you literally see that she takes out this one guy, slams his head on the rock, picks up his gun, and then gets 3 people and proceeds to drop the gun and knees this guy in the face just to pick up the next gun and air out the 3 people. She is doing this without her own personal gun. She is literally just having fun at this point. Like, she is literally just snapping on the people flawlessly. She has 100% accuracy right now. She is 1v6ing the entire squad effortlessly doing this, by the way. And you thought that LLeNN was fast? She is just not fast, if not faster than LLeNN, because the next guy got speed blitzed. She just threw that guy's body and is already in his face. Like, she is absolutely just going on a massacre. She has to at least have a K9 unit right now, bro. If this game has score streak, she gotta at least be full. With just witnessing her go on an absolute tear, now you see what I mean by LLeNN has her work cut out for her. When Pito meant that she was going to take her elo, she meant that shit. But cutting to LLeNN and Fuka, we pretty much see them inside like this dome because they kind of wanted to hide out for the next scan, but they realized that they have been followed by 3 different squads. And you already know what time it is. With Fuka letting off those smoke grenades and giving LLeNN cover, she is bum rushing every single one of them with the suppressed P90. With ripping through them inside the smoke, she started to realize that she is running low on ammo, so she has to end this quick. But as soon as she started to like finish them off, some guy ends up flanking Fuka, but he ends up tripping, and so she has to drop on him. But you gotta also remember, Fuka's a damn squirrel girl main, so when she actually has to use a regular gun,
Booyah!
You missed.
What the? How could I miss you when I'm standing this close?
she can't aim for shit. But luckily she has like 2 hours with magic. After dealing with that last person, they had like some interaction with the local femboy of the game, and he ends up giving her ammo, but she couldn't even pick up the ammo because she immediately gets ambushed by a whole different squad. So while getting out of dodge, it cuts to Pito and her team, and they're having like a sniper off with the previous team that M took out the last time with LLeNN. And it pretty much just ends with them actually out-sniping M and getting him to move. They broke his shield and the 50 cal all together because they also had an anti-material rifle. So having his entire shield and 50 cal destroyed, they have to push back a little bit but still have to hold their ground. And while all this is going on, LLeNN is getting ready to do the flank of the century. Fuka started letting loose all those smoke bombs, but as soon as LLeNN was about to start moving, she notices a sniper is looking exactly at Pito's position, and the unthinkable happened. With getting literally headshotted and fighting for her life, she ends off on 1 HPs and passes out after, you know, punching M in the face. Well deserved. You know what, run that back. So with them running inside the log cabin to try to hold out, another team tries to pull up to try to finish off Pito. They trying to get the easiest lick of the century. But how many times do I gotta repeat myself for people to understand what I'm talking about? You don't got the facilities to take on Pito. Because as soon as she got up, she pops this lightsaber and started to just cut everybody in half. You really thought a singular sniper rifle bullet was going to take her out? Man, you should have just double tapped. You should have just immediately shot right after. Now you're gonna fuck around and you're most certainly finding the hell out right now. So with absolutely just atomizing the last guy, everybody started to just start charging towards the cabin to try to take out Pito. But then she ends up grabbing M's sniper rifle and taking pot shots at everybody, just for them to take the opportunity to get in the Jeep and try to run away. But then LLeNN ends up cutting them off and standing in front of the Jeep, standing on business. And they try to run her over just for her to leap over the car. And while being on top of the car, she ends up unloading her entire mag to just try to kill Pito before she kills her. But then she ends up missing all of the shots, and that gives Pito enough time to lock in and aim at her. But LLeNN's trying to run away, and then she ends up clipping her in the leg, and she ends up just getting wounded and losing HP slowly. Just for the best duo ever, the GOAT, to pull up, Fuka ends up just lobbing, just shooting the Hail Mary grenade and blocking Pito from hitting LLeNN with the car. And Fuka was also doing this while driving. Ends up weaving their Jeep and spinning around to pick up LLeNN. Now they start to run away to try to, like, you know, get their bearings. LLeNN tries to heal up while they're also running away but getting shot at by Pito. With them literally doing a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit type of chase, they end up running out of gas, so LLeNN and Pito end up jumping out the car and started shooting at each other. LLeNN is literally far away trying to rush down Pito, and Pito pulls out the dual Berettas and started letting them rip. And before LLeNN was able to get shot, she started blocking it with her P90. When she got up close, she kicks the Berettas out her hand and just started aura farming on her. And with them literally just having the standoff of the century, just talking their shit, LLeNN struck a nerve, and right before she was able to ignite that lightsaber, she ends up just speed blitzing, using her knife to cut into her leg to throw her off balance, and proceeds to jump in the air and cut her in the neck. LLeNN is going absolutely ballistic right now. She is trying to end this fight as soon as possible. With Pito dropping the lightsaber, she ends up just straight up folding LLeNN. God damn, she went far. So getting dazed by that one punch, Pito ends up picking up LLeNN's P90 to try to kill her with it. But the plot wasn't in Pito's favor, because then the gun ends up exploding in her face, and that gives LLeNN all the time in the world to just run her down. But Pito is just a demon. She is literally the pure definition of a demon, because she is blinded and still catches LLeNN's strike and kicks her across the map. Using Pito's speed to her advantage, she runs her down next, grabs her by the hand, but LLeNN tries to throw the knife at her, but then she ends up just biting it out the air. Now she has her knife. God damn it, LLeNN, you're low-key, you low-key are throwing your elo right now. But with everything looking like it's going to be up for LLeNN, M pulls up with Fuka being tied up and he has a gun by her head. But Pito ends up asking for the gun to try to finish off LLeNN with. But then she ends up betraying M and shooting him and square in the head. So with nobody watching Fuka, the duo of the century, she ends up cutting through the tape with the knife in her hair and proceeds to run down Pito, but she doesn't have the speed like they have. So Pito ends up letting off some shots, and right before Fuka got close, she put LLeNN in front of Fuka to try to make her stab her. And LLeNN probably gave one of the best calls in this entire game.
Cut! Kick!
Which was for Fuka to literally cut straight through her. And when she ends up cutting off her arms, she kicks her into Pito and she bites her in the neck. With not being able to shake her off, LLeNN ends up just finishing the job and winning her second tournament. Is what I would have said. So class, in today's video, we are going to be going over the final tournament in GGO. Now, if you guys been around the channel for a little bit, you guys would know that previously we went over the last two tournaments in Sword Arts. Like, we have damn near seen everything. We seen the ups with LLeNN literally just going crazy in every single tournament, just dropping absolute numbers, slaughtering the entire lobby. And then in the last video, we saw how Pito is just the absolute demon that doesn't die even when she gets hit by a 50 cal. And with all their feats that we have went over, who in their right mind decided to put both these demons on the same team? And it's not like they're gonna be by themselves. We also are going in with the W duo Fuka and M. Now remember, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime content. Now, just like damn near every other anime, we get a recap of what happened in the last tournament, to where LLeNN beat Pito by, you know, biting her in the neck, but then them immediately getting third party. But after somewhat getting that recap of what happened in the last tournament, we see everybody pretty much going over their entire game plan. We cut to pretty much seeing all the teams that we saw previously in the tournament participating, with a couple of new faces. It's just the people that participated in like the last, like, you know, scene of the anime. We had the sniper chick that did not double tap Pito when she had the chance, and also the femboy that gave LLeNN ammo. And everybody else, more fodder for the slaughter. So with them pretty much waiting for the countdown to get onto the battlefield, they're going over, like, you know, strategies and shit like that, but they really do not know like what's the theme of the tournament, because now for some reason, when this whole demon squad gets put together, those developers got scared. They're like, okay, this tournament is going to be like 3 seconds, so we got to do something different to throw everybody off. So when they finally get spawned in, they look at the mini map, and the first thing that everybody sees is that there is something in the center of the map. And whether if they want to figure it out or not, they do not have a choice, because the zone is pushing them towards it. So they're going to have to figure it out one way or another. But what they do know is that the next scan is about to go off, so they're getting in position to wait and see who is near them just so they can push their ass. But shit is not like how it was in the previous tournaments, because when they started to see these flares shoot up in the air, they automatically knew that everybody was going to team up against them. Because right before the tournament started, there was a person passing out like this mail to everybody, seeing if they wanted to team up against LLeNN and her squad, because they knew they were the God Squad. They were stacked, and the only way that they were even going to be able to get close to even beating them was to team up against them. So after seeing exactly where they are on the map, they decided that they were just going to plan out like an ambush to try to lead all of them out in the open. And who's best to get everybody's attention than LLeNN, the fastest character in the game. So we having the plan established, LLeNN starts to just run straight ahead to draw everybody's fire so that they know where everybody's at. And as soon as she touched that courtyard, they started to light her up. But like I said in the beginning, most of these people are just fodder because they are missing everything. Not a single bullet hit. They are trash. But LLeNN was doing everything in her power to not get hit. She even started to wall run in the game. Like, this is what I mean. Like, how is this possible? Is this in the code that you can do this? Like, can anybody do this? Or is LLeNN just making up shit? Keeping on the topic of straight up movement, when she was running down and she busted that left, she ended up getting flanked by 2 other people on a crossfire, and then she ends up just flipping in between the trains. But she cannot take a breather because now they have snipers trained onto her. So with her continuing this entire run through the train yard, just ripping and running and dodging everybody's bullets, even at close range, she's looking like Chisato from Licorice Recoil. Or either that, or these people are just trash, like I said, because there's like, what, 4 people right here and none of y'all hit her? Yeah, nah, bro, put the controller down, take off the headset and go to your 9 to 5. You fucking suck. But after somewhat getting out of dodge, Fuka ends up shooting a grenade in the air to signal where LLeNN has to go next, and she runs all the way to her teammates. And when she got there, everything started to hit the fan because more squads started to team up against them. There's probably like 5 squads just walking them down at this current moment. And when they all got to where they are positioned, they started to light up that train cart. But they were not getting hit due to M's shield. So with them unloading their entire mags into that train cart, with them putting up the shields, they decided that it's about time for them to actually start to get to work and start dropping bodies. So while they were pushing up slowly to the train cart, one person ends up just getting dropped by LLeNN. And then everybody started to just unload into the crowd of people. Now, you may be wondering, how the hell are they shooting out from the train car? Wouldn't they just be hitting the walls? Pito with that damn lightsaber ends up just cutting a goddamn bullet hole. They're holding a pixel peak like this is Rainbow Six and just proceeds to start dropping everybody. So after like a couple of seconds of just dropping every single squad, wiping off everybody, somebody decides that they wanted to try and launch a grenade inside and try to kill them. But with Fuka being quick with the cause and calls out that they're about to get bombarded by a grenade, Pito ends up picking up the shotgun and shooting it out the air. So with saving their lives, Fuka ends up just relining up everybody and dropping the mother load on them. There was about like 5 or so squads, and they all got wiped out. Exactly like what I said in the beginning, more fodder for the slaughter. Like, they couldn't do nothing. But with that fight being over, now they have to move because the zone is closing in, and they learned that the zone is actually water. You guys are gonna see why it's water later on. But while they were also fighting, they noticed that the next scan is gonna drop, and there's people just waiting for them to just get moving so then they can get the drop on them. They know that it's risky to take the fight head on, so they just decided to like take time to plan out what they are gonna do. Meanwhile, cutting to the people that are camping them out right now, we see that the fanboy from the last tournament is teaming up with them. This man's a whole ass traitor. I thought he was messing with LLeNN. Bro, he's even giving them strategies and everything. You know, bro, you're gonna be put on this list, bro. You're gonna be put on the list exactly with them. Man, I'm sorry not to fuck with you for real. I thought we had something. I thought you were cool.
I thought you were bad!
So as soon as LLeNN and everybody jumps out the train cart, they signal to everybody else that they are leaving the train cart to get ready for the ambush. Just for the fanboy to go behind their back, and betray the people that he just helped. See, I knew you were cool. I knew you had something. My man was playing double agent the entire time because he ends up TKing 2 more people. Hey, bro, I knew it. Bro, I knew it. See, I knew you would have betrayed LLeNN. You to go. Now, while he was just basking in the glory of him taking out 4 people, his random teammate that he had with him for some reason gets ripped through by the damn sniper rifle. And the person who shot that sniper was the freaking green-haired chick from the last tournament who didn't double tap Pito. But hey, she got some explosive rounds on her now. She's going for the kills. So with losing the line of sight of everybody, she has to move in close else, and this is where we get into the 1v1 with the Fanboy and the Sniper. This is like peak generational duels. Who's gonna end up on top? Would it be the Sniper or the Fan? Well then, ain't that some shit? So after the duel of the century, we see that everybody else is having like their own battles. Everybody's getting kills or getting killed throughout the entire map. While Lynn and her squad is pretty much inside the Jeep trying to move closer towards the middle of the zone. And with them being able to like sit down and like somewhat take a break from all that traveling, everybody in the lobby got a notification on their phone with some pretty alarming news. Everybody from each squad has to give up one teammate, and those one singular teammates will be on a whole brand new squad, and they have to go against their previous team. And guess who got selected on LLeNN's team? Yup, you're right, the demon herself, Pito. Of course it's Pito. Why wouldn't it be Pito? But while everybody around the entire map is like discussing whether who goes and who doesn't, everybody decides to pick, and these like floating mini aircrafts comes down to pick everybody up to take them to the middle of the map, which we learned that it is a big ass yacht. Now with everybody landing on the yacht from the new squad, I'ma just call them Pito squad, they are all just going over their strengths and weaknesses. Well, some lack thereof. While they're going over that, everybody else has to run towards the middle of the map because the zone is closing in. Reaching the outskirts of the boat, everybody started to like realize that there are holes that they gotta make it into before the water gets them. So with Lynn and everybody else pretty much planning out how they're gonna get inside the yacht, they are also all on a time limit because that water is coming in fast. So with mapping out a plan, all hell starts to break loose. Because with Pito squad realizing that they have like entryways to get into the ships, Pito decides to just start running across with the lightsaber and blocking off their paths. And while she was doing that, everybody else is shooting at everybody. But amidst all the chaos, Lynn and her team ends up making it inside the ship. While inside the ship, another scan is about to go off in a matter of seconds. And with that scan going off, they just now learned that there's a whole other squad right next to them. With them getting the pre-fire and hitting Fuka. Fuka is not out yet. They are in an enclosed area with somebody with a grenade launcher. You tell me what happens next. So with having her get pushed through the hallway, she is about to take out Lynn, but she does not have any bullets, and she proceeds to use this man as a damn table, flip around him and start choking him out. And I shit you not, bro, like I swear, oh my god, bro, I just hate this man so much because you could have done anything in this situation. You could have done anything. You had so many options. You could have turned around and had Lynn fire at her while she's on your back, or you could have jumped your big body ass up and landed on her back with her on top of you. You know, sometimes it's good to yell at your screen because sometimes they may hear you. Hell, while we're at it, let's check up on Pito. Yep, that looks about right. After completely wiping out that squad, in typical Pito fashion, she betrays her whole entire squad, with first stabbing this guy in the head with the lightsaber and then proceeding to have this lightsaber duel with the previous guy. But like, unlike Pito, this guy has like 0 hours with the lightsaber, so... yeah. So after obliterating him, here's where we get into the biggest reveal of this tournament. Because this entire time, with Pito being like, you know, transported to the freaking boat, we all thought that she was the one that got chosen to be on that squad. But in reality, it was actually LLeNN. LLeNN is the traitor of the squad, so now it has to be LLeNN versus everybody else. With hearing that information, LLeNN is absolutely just pissed off right now. But before anybody can react, a flashbang comes from the other side of the room and just blows up in front of everybody. And we all know that it's just like the one guy, you know, the people from the other team. I forgot their name. But simply because they are actually on the same squad, that's the only reason why she is helping out LLeNN right now. So with them pretty much being duoed up, now they have to win a 2v3. But it's almost like I've been saying this for the past 2 parts. It's not like she's been here before. Because after causing a commotion with these grenades, she ends up ISOing her previous duo, Fuka, in a 1v1 situation. With them exchanging shots, Fuka gets caught off guard and LLeNN completely just mad dumps Fuka. With running out of ammo and thinking that Fuka died, she pops back up and pops another shot at LLeNN. But LLeNN ends up just perfect parrying the damn projectile. With taking this opportunity, Pito ends up just running and gunning her down until LLeNN's duo decides to try to snipe Pito, and Pito just weaves the bullet. And while weaving, she lets off a couple of shots and they directly hit her. I do not know how the hell Pito be doing this shit, bro. Everybody in this game is unreal. While trying to heal up, of course, Fuka lines her up and lets off a grenade, and she proceeds to just jump off the balcony. With the explosion flipping her upside down, she pulls out her secondary and one-taps Fuka while falling. And now we get the rematch of the century. LLeNN versus Pito. With Pito just mag dumping, trying to hit LLeNN to try to finish this off, the boat ends up flipping and breaking in half like the Titanic. With it breaking, it throws off Pito's balance and she ends up falling but then catches herself. But guess who's there to meet her when she's climbing back up? LLeNN herself proceeds to one-tap and spray her completely. But how many times do I got to say this? How many times do I have to scream this into the ether? You cannot kill Pito! Because she uses like the knives that she was carrying to catch her fall again, whip out the pistol and shoot at LLeNN. With LLeNN blocking one of the shots with her P90, she ends up dropping it into the sea. With Pito climbing back up to the ships, both of them do not have guns, so they end up doing a melee only fight. The only difference is LLeNN has a regular knife and Pito has 2 lightsabers. LLeNN made the smart play to just get the hell out of there because this is unfair. So we're running across the ship. While the ship is still sinking, they only have a limited amount of time before it fully submerges inside the water and both of them die. They decided to just have one final standoff to where LLeNN throws the knife at Pito. She destroys it, but LLeNN has another knife and cuts her arms clean off. While in the same motion, jumps in the air and stabs her in the chest. While being pinned down, Pito ends up just slicing off both of their legs for some reason. With LLeNN trying to finish the job, she grabs the knife to try to push it in deeper, but Pito ends up just out-strengthening her. With running out of options, she has to use her head to think of something fast, and Daddy Chomp. I guess that works. With getting pushed away, Pito is at the edge of the ship and LLeNN does the unthinkable and just pushes her straight off into the boat propeller. And with Pito being defeated, LLeNN ends up winning her actual second tournament. This time, there's no gimmicks or anything like the last time. She actually wins! With the fire song that's playing in the background too, I really wish I could play it, bro. And with that concludes the entire tournament arc for GGO Online, with LLeNN absolutely going on a generational run. And if you made it to the end of the video, you might as well just subscribe to my YouTube channel because we make videos like this all the time. And while you're down there, comment down below another anime that you will want me to talk about or go over just like this, and I'll make sure I will do it in the future. And also remember that we do have a community Discord that I'm trying to make more active, so if you guys would want to join that, the link is always in the description. But with that being said, there's no bell for today. Pack your bags. Class dismissed.